Hey everyone, Sebastian here. So today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on in the housing market with lumber prices and where things are going to go from here, I think. So let's jump into it. CNBC did a great article on it just a little bit ago. I think it was a day ago that they did it. Let's take a look at it right now. So soaring lumber prices are adding about 36,000 to the cost of a new home, and a fierce land grab is only making things worse. So let's get into the article here. Interesting thing that they wrote on here was about 1 in 4 homes for sale are now newly built, the highest ever. Historically, those were 1 in 10. Prices for new and existing homes are at record highs. I've seen this as well. This is not something new. This has been going on ever since pandemic has started. Basically, back in probably around May of last year, people were moving out of the cities into the suburbs. One of the things that we noticed was pricing on housing was going up like crazy. Recently, I've had a couple of friends buy new homes, and unfortunately, they had no other option but to overbid on the price of the house in order to get it. They also had to have basically put in that they're not going to do any, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not going to do any home inspections. They're going to add more cash if the bank comes back to the house and not appraise the value that they're offering. Willing to move relatively quickly as far as the closing, and even add some closing credits to it if they have to. It's not something that's ideal, obviously, when you're buying a house, but in this market, if you want to buy something that's in a great neighborhood, great schools, people are just overbidding each other on the pricing on it, which is unfortunate. I was lucky enough to buy my house 5 years ago. Relatively good price. I've probably made on it now close to 70,000 in 5 years, just in appreciation itself, which is crazy to think that just in that short amount of time, the property value has gained so much on it. So back to the article, lumber prices seem to be to set a new record almost daily now, up 67% this year and 340% from a year ago, according to Random Lengths. And then those added costs hit cabinet, doors, windows, and flooring. So a little tidbit on that. I have friends that are in the industry that work on houses. They do remodeling. They build new garages, things like that. And they are just having a hell of a time trying to get any kind of lumber right now. Not to mention that the prices have gone up 300%, 3 times what they were last year this time. And the other strange thing is that they actually have clients that are just writing out checks to get whatever they can to do the additions to their houses, to do the remodeling to their houses, to install new garages, whatever it might be, because the economy has been boosted up so much recently with all of the stimulus checks that we've gotten in the past year. Some of us have gotten close to almost $10,000 in stimulus checks. That's adding to the fuel to the fire, unfortunately, which is causing the lumber shortages to increase. And the other part of it was the lumber tariffs here in the article. They speak about lumber tariffs had already rising a year ago, but then the pandemic hit, production shut down. So a lot of lumber production facilities shut down because of COVID. They were shut down for 1-2 months, depending on what they were looking at with forecasting. They thought that the housing is going to go down because of the pandemic. So then in here they mentioned that the expectation was that housing demand would dry up for a long time, but instead, after a brief pause, it came back roaring. Home builders were caught off guard, as were lumber producers. And we're absolutely seeing that right now as the case, as they're trying to catch up with all the demand. The problem is that until everybody gets healthy and we get rid of this virus that we're dealing here with for the past year, it's going to be hard for them to get to full production, I think. There's also shortages in shipping, whether it's local through trucking companies, there's a shortage in truck drivers already, which is causing huge price increases in carrier fees for shipping. And then you also have all the backlogs that are dealt with at the ports from ships coming in from overseas with everything else. So that's kind of adding to the fuel as well. And unfortunately, I don't know if that's going to get solved anytime soon. I think it's going to be at least a while before anything is, anything is getting better. I would imagine probably by the end of the year, things should get better with pricing on lumber, along with pricing on shipping and everything else, which is adding to it. So back to the article, it says the surge in lumber prices in the past year has added 35,872 to the price of the average price of a single family, and then 12,966 to the market value of an average multifamily home, according to NAHB. And I've seen it around in my area where I live. I live in the Chicagoland area, and prices have been just going up like crazy. Whether it's new homes, old homes for sale, everybody is just trying to get out of the cities and get into the suburbs where you at least have some land and grass and where your kids can play. I mean, if you're stuck in the city, everything was locked down. You couldn't go to the playgrounds. You couldn't do anything else. So people are moving out of the cities and into the suburbs, which is great for us to live in the suburbs because our prices are going up on the families' homes. Excuse me, got a little sniffle. Back to the article. Some builders have said they are slowly producing in the face of exorbitant costs, but single-family housing starts were up 41% in March year over year, according to the U.S. Census. So that is a huge increase in the number of homes that are being built right now that are added to the market. But the demand is just so high that pre-existing homes are selling out like crazy, and then the new home builders are building as fast as they can, but those are being bought up as fast as they can be. So prices of gypsum, which is drywall as well, is up nearly 7% from a year ago. Steel mill products prices are at a record high, up nearly 18% in March over year. It's used for beams, sheet metal products, and wiring. Obviously, I'm recording here in my basement right now. I can see a large beam going across the whole width of the basement right now, where that's holding up the rest of my house. So if that goes up, 18%, that's a huge increase on that. And then you also have land. The price per single lot is up 11% this year compared to last year. Because demand is so high and supply is so low, new lot supply is down 20% from a year ago, according to Zonda Real Estate Data and Advisory Firm. So from what I've seen, last year I was looking at lots that were in my subdivision. They were going for about $25,000 to $29,000. This year there's only a single lot left available. It's a 1/3 acre lot. It is going for $65,000. It's almost double the price of what they were last year. And the buyers that had it before know that the market is really hot right now, so they can, jack up the price as far as they can, and hopefully somebody will buy it. And I'm sure somebody is going to buy because the fear of pricing going up even higher from here. The other thing I want to talk to you about is, with all that's going on in the housing market right now, I just don't know where that's going to end up being. The Biden administration has also stated that they want to get rid of the 1031 exchange or limit that to $500,000. So that's going to put, I think, even more pressure on the market as we go forward if that passes. I'll do a video on that coming up. But with everything that we're seeing with the lumber prices, I think stocks that are dealing with lumber, like Home Depot, Lowe's, some of the other ones that are out there, Menards, those companies are going to be doing really well. Because if you think about it, anytime a stock is, or a company is selling lumber, if they were selling a lumber piece of 2x4 for $1 in the past, and they were making 30% profit on it, they're only getting 30 cents on it. But now multiply that by 3, so if lumber, a 2x4 is going for $3, they're making a dollar, what is it going to be? 30, 16, 90 cents per 2x4. So it's a huge amount of increase in the amount that they're making. Maybe, compare 30 cents to 90 cents. So that's something that you might want to look into, is looking into those kind of stocks to see if they're going to be a good buy going forward. I think for at least the next 3-6 months, that's kind of where I'm going to be looking into, maybe possibly buying some stocks in that area. But do not take my word on that. Do your own research. This is not financial advice, obviously. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you wouldn't mind, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell as well. I do appreciate it very much. If you could also comment down below if there's anything that you would like to see in the future. I'll comment back as best as I can. And then also check out my Patreon page if you'd like to support me there. I do appreciate it. Thanks again for watching.